to the regular, degular, schmegular programming. Non-spooky, but still the spooky. I don't know. It's complicated. Greetings.
Yeah.
Let me stop saying not spooky, because then the spooky lovers will be like, I don't want to be here, but we are still spooky, just not. Again, not in the name of Halloween. We're feeling fine and feeling wine.
Yep.
Greetings, strangers. I'm Britt.
And I'm D.
You should said, and I'm D.
Why?
I don't know, because the way I said I'm Britt. I don't know. And welcome.
I wouldn't even sound right.
I'm.
My voice is too deep for that.
My voice is deep, but I can kick it up an octave. I'm Britt. Brittany, bitch.
Okay.
And welcome to another. I don't know why I'm holding this pen. And welcome to another episode of.
Before we start, you are giving me so. No offense, but with a pen.
Oh. I say, don't even say it.
The fairy godmother, is it from the second Shrek?
Oh.
Yeah. That's who you look like.
Or the third.
Yeah. That's who
How many Shreks is it? 3 or
3? I don't know. It might be the third one.
Maybe, y'all. It's because I'm swishing my pen.
Yeah, that's what it is. And then the glasses.
Oh yeah. Okay. Welcome to another episode of It's a Strange World After All. The podcast where we discuss true crime cases, the supernatural, urban legends, conspiracy theories, and all of the things that keep the world strange. Shout out to the special effects department. Y'all, we done came up. Our budget is getting a little bit. We got $25. You see, we got $25. I said, ooh, we got $25. I was like, we don't say this. We gonna say this for next year.
You see how long it took, though?
I know. Ads are. I see why people have Patreons, because ads are intense.
Yes. Well, not hopefully, one day we'll have our own Patreon.
One day.
Next year.
One day next year.
Yep.
Go ahead.
I'm going to put it out there.
Put it on a bay leaf. Put it on a bay leaf and burn it and release it onto the earth.
I wonder if we have bay leaves.
We do. I can. I have a fine point pen somewhere too. I could write it all on a bay leaf. What? I'm just saying so I can fit it all.
No, because did you put that in the episode? Because you remember you said you wrote something on a bay leaf, and I was like, you put all that on there, and he's wasn't like you thought I was calling you fat or something. I was like,
because I said I'm
not
gonna put
what I meant.
36, 24, 36 on a bay leaf. Right now I'm about a 50. Look, right now I'm about a 50, 30, 24. No, I'm just kidding. Not a 24, about a 40. But we gonna get it. Wait, okay. In honor of today's episode, also, I know you're not here, but did you know that the Texas Powerball is at a whopping $1.50 billion?
Really?
Yes. And so the estimated cash value. Okay. So the estimated cash value is $745.9 million. We did play. I did play last night. We hit, I think, 1 ball or 2 balls. So we got our $4 back. Like, we got the money that we spent for the ticket back. And I was like, well, I mean, because like my significant other, he woke me up out of my sleep and was like, hey, we hit. And I was like, what we hit? And he was like, oh, we got $4. I said, that's what we paid for the ticket.
I would have been mad. You woke me up.
I was a little peeved.
But would you want to win though? Because it's kind of cursed winning, which is part of today's episode.
That's why I wanted to share that, because I was like, that's funny. What's funny is because we had, my circle here had been talking about the lottery all week because of how high it is in Texas, and we all played, didn't win, but I don't know. Let me do a little bit of facts too. I have some facts pulled up.
For the curse or just in general?
Well, just in general about the lottery. So the average American spends $218 buying lottery tickets each year. The chances of winning the lottery are nearly 1 in 300 million. Lotto winners go bankrupt within 3 to 5 years more often than the average American. Many winners become broke because of their generosity. So, like, they win and they feel like, okay, well, I have to give my mom money, my dad money, my sister money. Nah, nah,
Yeah.
nah. So, the percentages of them going bankrupt in 7 years is from 44 to 70%. I don't know. I feel like, which I mean, everybody probably feel like that. I feel like if I won, though, I mean, I don't have no money now. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have a lot of money now. So, like,
Same.
I know the people that I would give some money to. Like, I give you a little some. Hopefully, your brothers don't. Don't tell your brothers. I love them. I take them on vacation. But yes, I give you a little something. Don't expect a lot. Don't expect like in a million. You can
Oh,
expect
no.
a couple. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, I was like, I slide you. No, you know what? I might slide them like a couple of thousand. Like 10,000. You probably get about 50,000.
Oh.
My mom and my dad, I probably get like a million together. Dang, wait a minute, because in Troy, because I probably would have gave you more than Troy. Troy don't
Oh
net.
my.
You know what? See, I see how people go broke now. Look, I'm already
Yep.
stressed.
Yep. I was just about to say you seem stressed out.
I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like I would be more responsible because I read those articles that are like what you should do and what you shouldn't do.
Yep. And see, you're more fact based. So you're reading articles, and then me, I'm thinking about the curse. So that's
Um,
what stresses me out.
no, I wouldn't believe in that. I would like I cleanse and pray and all this other stuff. But we'll see. I don't know. Maybe it is. They say money is love of money is the root of all evil. So I don't know. Maybe it is cursed.
There was this show that used to come on. It was about different curses, and they had an episode about the curse of winning the lottery. And that was like one of the saddest episodes. I was like, oh my
Really?
God. Yeah. Cause it's like they always end up either, I think one person committed suicide. This guy
Mm-hmm.
was on there. And then another person just lost everything and got depressed. But I don't think he committed suicide though. But it was
Yeah.
just sad.
Yeah.
Sad.
I mean, cause yeah, real quick, that's like kind of what we were talking about like that message. It was like you're taking average people who maybe have never had or seen that much money in their life,
Hmm.
and then you're throwing them into that lifestyle. So it was like the idea of taking a slave and then making automatically throwing them into freedom, but not giving them like any tips, any tricks, anything, not
Oh,
telling them what they're supposed to do. Is like, oh, okay, what do I do now? Like, I don't know how to
yeah,
invest. I don't know how to save. I don't know anything.
that's true.
Yeah.
In today's episode, we discuss the story of Abraham Shakespeare, an average day laborer who won the lottery and, after squandering millions, was found dead 2 years later. Technically, I don't really think he squandered it, but we'll get into that. He squandered a little bit.
He squandered the first, or no, you don't
Yeah,
even feel like, oh, okay. I was gonna say technically he squandered about a
he
good,
it was half and half. He
well,
squandered and then yeah. I just don't feel comfortable saying that he squandered it all.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. It's
Yeah.
also complicated too because he was illiterate, and I mean that's
But
I'm saying that in the
see,
literary
no,
sense,
no,
in the
no.
literal sense.
And we were just talking about this. You said you give all these people this money and they don't know what to do with it. He didn't
Oh
know.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. He he didn't know what to do.
Maybe it should be like where you have to take like financial, or they should also like appoint. They should have financial advisors on staff too, to where they like, like
Yeah.
actually on staff, but they don't give a fuck. They don't care. The
Mm-mm.
no nothing involving. Is this the government? Who is the lottery? What's the lottery?
I guess
I'm serious.
technically it would be.
They don't give a. fuck, y'all. They don't care. Like,
They
for
don't.
real. Like, some people care, but a lot of them just don't even care. So,
Yeah, true.
Abraham Shakespeare was born on April 24th, 1966 in Lakeland, Florida. On November 15th, 2006, Abraham and his coworker, Michael Ford, were heading toward Miami when they stopped at a convenience store to buy drinks and cigarettes. Michael got out of the truck and asked Abraham if he wanted a soda. Instead, he told Michael to buy him 2 lottery tickets.
Abraham only had $5 on him and gave Michael $2 to pay for the tickets. One of those tickets would end up winning Abraham the statewide jackpot of $30 million. It amounted to around $17 million after taxes.
Uncle Sam be
Yeah.
snatching up shit.
No, I think that's because he wasn't the only one that won, so they had split it up.
You think that's what it was?
Yeah.
Uncle Sam still be taking.
I mean, I know it got taxed because I think it was him and maybe like 2 other people. So it wasn't like they had to split it a lot of ways. But yeah, they tax. Yeah.
They take everything. You gotta have like 5 children in order, like, especially if you're single and no kids, I be like, they taking everything. You remember that song?
Yes.
Everything.
You are stupid.
Everything.
Michael later approached him demanding no less than $1 million since he was the one who went into the store. Okay.
Stop.
Why? Okay, me being me, I would give you something, but it's not going to be $1 million.
It'll be a little something.
Yeah, he said no less than $1 million.
Better
Like,
get out of my face. That's crazy. Okay.
That is.
You know how some people buy like scratch offs and lottery tickets for Christmas gifts? What if you bought like your brothers a ticket and they won like the current, like the like, let's say they won like 17 million.
That's
what would you?
Different though, because I spent my money buying the tickets, and I feel like I wouldn't even have to ask though, because they're my brothers. But
he said
he gave you the money to go buy the tickets. You didn't buy the tickets with your money. You just bought them.
He said no, because I went into the store. It was a lot of work going from the car into the store. I picked the tickets.
It wasn't like he was like, hey, I don't have no cash on me. Can you buy the tickets for me? He gave you the money to buy the tickets.
Exactly.
Even though it's $2, but still.
I mean, it was his last.
It was his. I was just about to say he had $5. He didn't have nothing else. And you end up winning the lottery, man. But yeah, $1 million is crazy. I would have punched. We would have been fighting.
You gonna take this little 5,000?
The audacity.
That is
$1 million.
Dang.
Ugh. Abraham, of course, refused, and Michael sued him, claiming Abraham stole the lottery tickets out of his wallet. So he done made up this whole story.
He just lied.
Lied. The jury didn't buy his story, and Abraham prevailed in court, as he should. And he should have had to pay like a fine or something for wasting people's time. You done took this man to court.
Oh, he should have. Hopefully, maybe they made him pay court fees, because you know you have court fees every time you got to go to court. So maybe, because that's messed up.
That is.
That just shows you though, like when money gets involved, people will start acting brand new. They start acting crazy, or they show their true selves.
It's crazy because I feel like the type of person he was, by reading over this and going through all these articles, the type of person he was, I feel like he offered him some money and he was probably like, no, I don't want less than $1 million.
That's crazy.
Because apparently Abraham was like, in the beginning, was just giving folks money. So I feel like he offered him something and he was just being greedy. In my opinion, that's what I think.
And really, he doesn't owe you anything. He doesn't owe anyone anything. Really?
Nope. It was his $2 that bought that ticket. So it was his money. He don't owe you nothing.
Mm-mm. Abraham ended up choosing a one-time lump sum cash payment of 17 million. I'm going to say $17 million. He moved out of his neighborhood in Lakeland, Florida, and into a $1 million home in a gated community. Besides the home, his only other major purchases included a Nissan Altima. A Nissan
What?
Altima is it's just because it's like a Nissan Altima, which I mean it's a
Yeah.
smart car to buy, I guess, but it's like a Nissan Altima. And a Rolex from a pawn shop. So he was
But
trying to be
then, yeah, I
responsible.
was just about to say.
Yeah.
And then I think too, kind of not blaming him, but even though I probably would have done the same thing though. Now
I
that I think
would,
about it,
because I don't
because
think I would. What you talking about?
they give you an option to get, yeah, they give you an option to get the lump sum, or you can get it in installments. So he chose the lump sum because it was his money and he wanted it now. So I was like,
It's my
maybe
money
if
and
he
I want it now.
maybe if he would have gotten it in installments, but honestly, I would have taken the whole thing at once too. So I don't even blame him.
I don't blame him either, but I would not have. I think, like, because that was another suggestion. I was watching a video of this lady that was talking about what you should and shouldn't do. She was like a financial advisor, and she was
Hmm.
talking about what you should and shouldn't do. And I was like, unless I'm like really hard up, like I have like a immediate debt that I need to pay, I want those installments. I don't want my life to change that much. I
Yeah.
like, of course, I'm gonna buy a nicer home, pay off my car, or get a little bit of a nicer car, but I want those money. Those money. I want those monies. Give me them monies. I want my money in installments. That way
Yeah.
it's not like, okay, I'm overwhelmed by that large
Yeah.
lump sum. Just give it to me in installments.
Yeah. Yeah, I still think, I don't know. Cause I do think that would have kind of made a difference because of his
Maybe.
situation. But I think we get into that kinda. Even with his new home and new car, Abraham was starting to grow frustrated. And I think this is kind of what I was talking about. He told his brother, I would have been better off broke. And he told a childhood friend, I thought all of these people were my friends, but then I realized all they want is just money. So, and I wish I could remember the name of that show, but I remember watching it about the curses. He was
Mm-hmm.
saying basically, as soon as he got his money, people were coming out of nowhere, like, oh, can I borrow this? Basically. And he was giving it to him because he was a good person. He was saying people who
Yeah.
he hadn't seen in years all of a sudden got his number and is asking him for money. And I'm like, you gotta
This is
learn. And that
Abraham.
was one of my, yeah. And this is like one of my things. You have to learn how to tell people no, because I have a hard time telling people
Yep.
no. But you have to.
Yeah, you do. And I would have changed my number. Like, I'm changing my number. Like, no offense. No, for real. I'm changing
No,
my number.
if I want you to have my number, you'll have it.
Yeah. First of all, I want to be anonymous. If I can, please, I
That's
need
an
to be
option
anonymous.
too. That's an option.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm changing my number. And I know like my parents, they don't have loose lips. They're not gonna be like, y'all hear Brittany Rhonda? Nope. She didn't. She's in the same position. And then yeah, like you can come to me, but either I don't have it like that. Like I'm not about to blow through this money like that. Or
Mhm.
like you gonna get what I got. Like how the dude was like,
Yeah.
no, I'm not finna take less than $1 million. Sorry. I don't care who you are. Even if you're my parents, like I love y'all. Yes, y'all raised me, but y'all didn't spend no $1 million raising me. That's not the average. Like, you know what I mean? That's not the average
Yeah.
for like raising a child. Like I'm gonna give you what I can afford to give you, and you're gonna keep
Yep.
it moving. Because people who really love you, people who are really in your corner, they're not trying to milk you for everything that you're worth. And
Exactly.
then what Drake say? No new friends, no new friends, no new. I'm not trying to make new friends unless you have money like that. Now, if you have money like that, then maybe we can, But no,
Yeah.
I'm with my day ones. That's it.
Yep. And that's sad though that he felt like that though. Cause
Yeah,
can you imagine though? Yeah, you gotta change your number. Cause if all these people are coming out of nowhere, that's stressful.
that's very stressful. It has to be. Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. But at the end of the day, you don't owe those people anything.
Nope.
Like, nearly 2 years later, in 2008, there was only 1.3 million left in his bank account. This is when he was contacted by Doris Dee. Come on, Dee.
I was gonna say,
Doris
I'm just
Dee.
D, not Dee.
I'm gonna start calling you Dee.
Nope.
Doris Dee Moore. She called him saying she wanted to write a book about his story. When they finally met, she offered to be his financial advisor. They launched a business together, Abraham Shakespeare LLC, and Dee made herself chief financial officer. My note was just, what were her credentials that would warrant him appointing her as his financial advisor? Like, was she anyone else's? Did she have a degree in accounting? Like, what would make me appoint you as my financial advisor? And I saw her. I've seen pictures of her. It's not like,
She just a random. She had no credentials. Let's be clear. She had no credentials. She, to me, I feel like, well, no, not allegedly. She was a scammer.
Yeah, she took advantage of him.
She took advantage of him because, I mean, I feel like she saw this man. I don't know what she knew about him, but from research and knowing what we know, he was illiterate. He didn't know. So she could have had like some fake credentials and he probably was like, oh, okay, not knowing. And that's sad. I feel like in high school, I think you should have classes that teach you about like finances, even though did I pay attention? No. But but I feel like more schools should do that. So you won't end up financially illiterate like a lot of people are.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, that whole thing about how he just went with it, and didn't really look into her.
Yeah, that's like, and this was not like, this 2000, what, 2008? Yeah, 2008. You had the internet, you could have looked her up, but never mind. Where was his family? That's what I'm just like, where was your, like, mom? Because I know she comes up a little later in the episode, but I'm like, okay, if I know my child cannot really read or write and he wins the lottery, do you think I'm gonna just let him just out to the wolves? No, I'm gonna be like, hey, I'm not trying to, I don't know what kind of relationship they have, but I'd be like, hey, I'm not trying to take advantage of you, but I'm gonna live with you. We're gonna do this together.
Yeah. And again, it all goes back, even though this wasn't recorded, it goes back to what we were talking about earlier. The way he grew up, she probably grew up the same way. Yeah, she wasn't like illiterate, but I think they saw this woman who sounded smart, and sound like she had everything together, and they trusted her. So, and it goes back to how they were brought up. Him, his mom.
That's sad.
It is. Abraham trusted her, but what he didn't know was that Dee had been convicted of fraud in 2001 for faking a rape and kidnapping to claim the insurance money on her car. I feel like, even like you said, where's his family? His family could have done like a Google search on her or something. Yep. But again, I think, I don't want to sound like that, but I feel like they were pretty much just looking to him for money.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to say they didn't care, but something is not right. This woman is just contacting you out of the blue.
Yeah.
Like, something's not
about
right.
Writing a book.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're a financial advisor. Like,
Yep. Something's not right. Within 7 months of meeting Abraham, Dee had spent nearly $1 million of his money. And then you remember he only had 1.3 million left.
Yes. So
when he met her.
0.3. She left him with 0.3.
And then on top of that, she had transferred almost all of his property to her own company, leaving him nearly broke. So she was just like transferring over all his like assets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that is frustrating. Cause he was like, if you like Google him, nobody had anything negative to say about him. He was a good person, and I feel like he felt a responsibility to help his people, basically.
Yeah.
And you don't owe nobody nothing.
No.
Because, like you said, if it were us, of course, we're going to help our family out. But outside of family, if I'm not, I don't want to give you nothing. If I don't have to, if I don't want
No.
to. Like,
Even
family, like,
yeah.
you know, you have certain people who do take advantage, but I feel like our family is pretty close.
Yeah.
If I won that much money, I don't think my family would have to ask. I would give you what I can. I'm not going to be giving everybody like $1 million each, but
No,
I
hell
would give,
no. It's a
I would
million for
give you what
you
I
and then
can. But then I feel like you would be taken advantage by keep asking for money. Like, if I give you what I feel like is enough money for you to take care of what you have to take care of and have plenty left over, don't come asking me for more
hell
money.
no. No, that's
Yeah.
because for one, like you said, you don't owe us anything. You don't owe us a
Yeah.
thing. So, like I said, I probably would give my parents $1 million, or even be like, hey, I'ma pay off y'all's houses and then give y'all a little something
Yeah.
extra. Or if you
Yep.
want to move, I'ma buy you a house, because
Yep.
not everybody can be responsible with that much money. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I don't owe you anything. Like, you should be grateful for anything that you get, anything extra that can help, because you didn't do anything to get that money. Granted, yes, I might have only paid $2 to get that money, but at the end of the day, I got that money. I gave my $2. I won
Mm-hmm.
that money. I don't owe you
And
anything.
yeah, and the fact that was his last, that was literally his last. And he just so happened to get lucky and win a lottery. That is your money. It's not nobody else's
Yeah.
money.
Mm-mm.
This woman, Lord.
She's a manipulator.
Yeah.
On November 9th, 2009, Abraham's family reported him missing. They stated they had not seen him since April of that year. His mother told authorities she had received text messages from him, which was weird to her because Abraham couldn't read or write.
So, yeah,
Hello.
so basically, like, he would text people, but I think what she was saying was everything was too perfect. Like, he would send text messages, but he can't read or write. So there, of course, would be errors like grammar mistakes, like
Yeah,
misspellings, but the texts were too perfect, basically. Like, it's not how he would normally text.
right.
So that immediately was like, okay, this is not him. Yeah, because I'm thinking, yeah, it was. And like, I think he communicated mostly by, talking on the phone, but it's not like he never texted, but like I said, it wasn't perfect when he texted.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
Around Christmas in 2009, she got a phone call. So the mom got a phone call from a private number. On the line was a man claiming to be Abraham, but she knew it wasn't her son. Well, yeah, because I'm pretty sure she knows how her son sounds.
Yeah, like, why would you think that was a good idea?
Yeah.
Because, like, I know this ain't him. I know what he sound like. Duh.
That was stupid. She reported this to detectives and they traced the call. The call came from Greg Smith, a barber who had accepted an $85,000 loan from Abraham. So he basically gave him that money to start his own barbershop, I think.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm
Aw.
saying. He was a good person. He was helping people out, even if he shouldn't
Yeah.
have. That's what makes it so sad, because it wasn't like he was out here, doing shady stuff.
Blowing it. Yeah.
He was trying to help his people.
Investigators traced the phone to a shopping mall parking lot. While they were waiting to find Greg, they were shocked to see Dee Dee. They followed her as she pulled her car up next to Greg's. Dee Dee got into Greg's car and handed him a wad of cash. When Greg was pulled over, he cooperated, claiming that Dee Dee paid him $5,000 to make the call. Greg is messed up though, because I'd be like, why are you making me do this? Like, obviously
Yeah.
you've done something shady to where, and I'm not finna accept no $5,000. Like,
$5,000.
that's what I'm saying. $5,000 to pretend to be someone else. And then, yeah, I would know, okay, yeah, you probably killed him. Like, what the heck is going on to where you need me to do this?
Yeah. Greg was released, so I'm guessing they took him in for questioning after they pulled him over.
Yeah.
So he was released, but authorities decided to bring him back in and requested he wear a wire and meet with Dee Dee. When he met with her, Dee Dee told him that she was being blamed for Abraham's disappearance, but would pay someone to take the rap for it. This was enough for investigators to get a subpoena for her phone records. Greg, under the guidance of detectives, told her he had a solution to her problem and wanted to meet up. So this is some stuff you see in TV shows.
Like on Lifetime.
Yeah.
My thing is, though, why would I accept money for taking the fault that I'm the reason that he disappeared, for taking the blame that he disappeared? I can go to jail. I go to prison.
And ain't no telling how long you gonna get. You can be in there for life.
Exactly. What
So
I'm
what
gonna
you
do
gonna do with that money?
Exactly. You gonna put it on my books? Like, I'm gonna be able to buy some cigarettes. I'm gonna, like, what am I gonna do?
Noodles.
Like, yeah, I'm gonna chef it up. Like, that's about it. I can't.
That just make me. This is not a funny situation, but it just makes me think of Mike Epps. You remember when he did his little,
he did his what?
His little MTV Cribs, but he was in jail.
Yes.
And when he was walking, it was like sped up. He was like, "Follow me to the kitchen," and he had them noodles on the shelf. Oh my God.
Yeah, what am I gonna be doing? Living lavish in prison?
Exactly.
Like, okay.
That is so stupid.
Greg brought along a man he claimed was his cousin. However, this man was an undercover cop. In a conversation, Dee Dee said she believed Abraham was dead and somebody shot him. The undercover cop said he would take the fall for Abraham's disappearance if she paid him $50,000 and provided the location of his body. They're trying to set her up.
Yep. Later that evening, Dee Dee met Greg at a gas station. She then drove Greg to a house she purchased under her boyfriend's name in Plant City, Florida, I'm guessing.
It's Plant City.
I've never heard of Plant City.
Me neither.
Yeah. She led him to a concrete slab in the backyard and said, "Tell your boy to dig 6 feet down and you'll find Abraham's body." Dee Dee also gave Greg the murder weapon, saying she got it from the person who shot and killed Abraham. This is all too convenient for her to have all this. She led him to the body. She got the murder weapon. Like, how, ma'am? Dee Dee, what's going on? And in the way she talking. Tell your boy to dig. Tell your boy.
You could have just said,
you are a white woman.
Okay, so one thing that really grinds my gears is when Anglo-Saxon American people feel like they have to talk down because you're talking to a person of color. Like, they be like, "Oh man, them shoes is dope," or be like, "Hey sis," or be like, "Oh girl," and I'll be like, you could have just said it the normal way, and I would have known exactly what you were talking about. You didn't have to. Like, if you talk like that on a regular basis, then that's fine. But for you to be like, "Ooh, girl, them things is on fleek." I don't even know if people still say fleek, number one. But you know what I mean? It's like, no cap. You did not have to.
Yeah, I hate that too. Yeah.
I would have understood. But anywho. She She's stupid. I feel like I'm gonna say
She is.
she's
No,
not
she is.
intelligent because I feel like she felt like she was invincible and that money was like going to cure all of her problems because you literally told them how he died, essentially. You pointed them to the body. Like, why would you do that? Like, you thought that somebody was really going to take the blame for this for $50,000. Like, and then what?
Yeah, she thought the money and her being white was gonna get her out of it, but
Essentially,
yeah,
that's
not
crazy.
today.
She's a Karen. People still using the term.
Yeah.
She's a murderous, greedy Karen.
She is.
She did not think about the consequences of her actions. Like, how did you think this through? Like,
She didn't, because again, like you said, she's stupid.
on January 25th, 2010, authorities found Abraham's remains exactly where she said they were. Dee Dee was found at Abraham's Lakeland mansion. So she was just chilling at the mansion.
Yes.
She claimed she purchased from Abraham. She was brought in for questioning and she denied killing Abraham, stating that drug dealers killed him. Detectives had no proof that she pulled the trigger, so they looked further into her past, leading them to her ex-husband. My thing is, if drug dealers killed him, first of all, why you have to pin it on drug dealers? Like, number one, why do we have to make it about drugs? Number two, if he did die like that, why wouldn't you report it? I'm so confused as to what.
So I think you mentioned it. I think it's in your, which is still stupid, because I wouldn't have believed it. But yeah, I think you get into that.
Okay, well, I take it back. I know how.
So her ex-husband said that on the night of Abraham's murder, Dee Dee had him use a machine to dig a hole in her backyard and fill it in after sundown. He claimed he didn't know there was a body at the bottom. Detectives questioned Dee Dee again, and she told them she was a victim.
Karen.
Yeah.
I'm the
Yeah.
victim. I don't know.
Exactly.
So, according to Dee Dee, men stormed into Abraham's home, killed him, and took all the cash from his safe. She said they forced her to cover up the murder. She gave a name to detectives, but it turned out to be a dead end. She then placed blame on her 14-year-old son. So she was ready to throw everybody under the bus. You getting
Yeah.
thrown under the bus. You
Yep.
getting thrown under the bus.
Yep.
That story fell apart as well. And then she claimed she killed Abraham in self-defense. So she's literally pulling at straws.
Mm-hmm. And then the article, like none of the articles went like into detail, but even after all of this that she's claiming, they said she changed her story a lot more times after this, but they just didn't go into detail. So she kept changing her story.
Wait, because I have her pictures pulled up, and there's one picture of her just like literally sobbing. So every story she told, she's probably like, I just, what in the hell is happening? And then
She just digging her own, like,
she's digging her own grave, and then
yeah,
and then how could how in these stories, how could they have forced you to cover up the murder? Did they threaten your
that's what I'm
family?
saying. Because I'm thinking if somebody broke into his house, they're gonna have on masks. So why would they force you to cover it up? You can just call the police.
Exactly. And if they killing him, they don't give a shit about you. But soon they would kill you too.
I was just about to say, why not kill her too?
Exactly.
So, yeah, none of her stories made any sense. And I feel like they just let her keep talking because the more she talked, the worse it got.
I'm doing the digging motion. Digging the grave.
I forgot people can't see us.
Yeah, no.
On December 10th, 2012, Doris Dee Dee Moore was convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. She remains incarcerated at the Low Correctional Facility in Ocala, Florida. So,
as she should.
yes. And as far as like final thoughts, I feel like we said it throughout the episode, but we can. Like, lack of education, lack of financial education. It's just sad because there is
Yeah.
no way that she should have been able to even get that close to him. And the fact that he didn't see it, that's just sad. And that's why we need to be educated. We need to have these classes. And like, again, I say I took that class in high school. I paid attention a little bit. So I feel like I would know, like, okay, to at least Google her at the
Yeah.
least. And then that, even though he was illiterate, his family could have been looking out for him and be like, okay, I'm finna check into this woman. This is my son, this is my brother, I don't want this to happen to him. But like, I don't think they really thought about it. I think they just saw this money and that was it. We can sit here and say what we would have done, but honestly, I always say you don't know what you would do until you're actually in that situation. So we can sit here and say, oh, well, I would have checked into it, I would have done this, I would have done this. But at the end of the day, like, everybody's different. Just like I said, I would take the lump sum and you said you wouldn't. It's like
Yeah.
everybody is, different. So I'm not blaming him. It's her fault. Like, she's the one who killed him, allegedly, because they still really couldn't prove that she actually did it. But obviously,
She did it.
if she didn't pull the trigger, she set it up.
Yeah. She knew way too many details.
Yeah. So, and the way she just manipulated everybody, even her ex-husband, because I'm like, why was he not questioning? Like, why do you need me to dig this hole?
Yeah, and put cement in it. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
weird. That's
that's
weird.
weird. The fact that nobody questioned her and all this stuff she was doing, she is trash. And then to try to blame it on her son,
She tried to jam on her 14. She probably was like, I mean, look,
14.
you're only 14. You're not gonna do any real time. Like, what?
And that's probably what she thought. I just
Probably.
I just wish he could have got his money and lived in peace.
Right?
Man.
I don't know. It could be a conspiracy theory, like you said. I really feel like they probably don't even intend for lottery winners to keep that money. They probably, I mean,
Yeah.
it's consumerism. You're talking about buying and selling, and for that to go back into the economy would.
I was just gonna say, I just thought about this. So he does have a son. His baby mama, like, I think it was like a few years after he passed away,
He has
she
two
won the
sons, doesn't
lottery.
he?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think
okay.
he has two.
Did
She won, yeah,
what?
she won, like, it wasn't as much. I think it was like 1 or 2 million, but she still won the lottery. So I'm like,
That's
what?
weird.
That is. But yeah, I just thought that was interesting. I just feel bad.
I feel bad too.
It's just messed up because, like I said, nobody had anything bad to say about him. He was doing what he was supposed to do. He was, taking
Yeah.
care of his kids. He was doing all that. And then you have people like her, because I feel like soon as she saw that he won, like, she was plotting,
Yeah.
in my opinion, allegedly. But it's just sad because he just didn't know. He was ignorant. He didn't know.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I wonder if he even knew that he had the option to be anonymous, because he said, like, at the beginning, we were saying how he was saying he wish, he said he would have been better off broke and how everybody just wanted money from him. So if he would have known that he had the option to be anonymous, I wonder if he would have done that.
I thought about that.
Because, yeah, you can get your money and just be.
Oh, but wait, hold on. Cause I think, which this could be conspiracy theory too, because I think there are certain states that allow you to remain anonymous. Let's see. This article was updated. I don't know about this website. It's liveabout.com, August 30th, 2022. It says in Florida is not on this list. It says here are the current lottery states. You have Delaware, Kansas, Maryland, North Dakota, Texas, and South Carolina. It says it has restrictions about how large the prize can be before you can claim it anonymously. It says though that you can also create a trust or an LLC and claim the lottery in your organization's name. So I could be like Black Lady LLC. I couldn't think of anything. Dream Big LLC, and then Dream Big LLC can accept the what?
I was yawning.
I'm just thinking. I was like, that's all I can think of.
Because I was laughing and yawning.
But so yeah, maybe Florida is not a state where you can claim it anonymous. I can't even say anonymous. Anonymously.
That's messed up because I feel like that should always be an option. Because so even with this case aside, if somebody see you on the news and they see you on all this money, they could be planning to try to rob you.
Exactly. I agree.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
Oh, okay. This is from newspress.com. Can Florida lottery winners remain anonymous? Not for long, sorry, but at least you get a head start. By Florida law, the Florida lottery must provide records of the winner's name, city of residence, what they won, when they won, and how much they won to anyone who asks.
What?
It says street addresses and phone numbers are kept confidential for what it's worth. But it says as of May 25th, 2022, the names of anyone claiming prizes of $250,000 or more will be temporarily exempt from disclosure for a whopping 90 days from the date the prize is claimed.
So if that's the case, if I were to win, I would move. I would leave the state.
Baby, I might even leave. I know, honestly, I might leave the country, in all honesty, because you could live somewhere else and live
peacefully.
Yeah, you have people in your family. You have enough money to bring people that you love with you. So,
yeah,
that's crazy. So, yeah, D, that might be a bit of a conspiracy theory, because that's crazy that you can't keep that anonymous.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's our final thoughts.
And that is all, folks.
Please follow us on Instagram at It's a Strange World Podcast, Twitter at Pod Strange World, and on Facebook and TikTok at It's a Strange World After All. Also, if you are listening to us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify and like the show, please go ahead and give us a 5-star rating. And if you're feeling extra strange, write a review, please.
Please, yes, we would love to hear from you. What did you think of this week's episode? Also, if there's anything else in the world of strange or true crime cases that you would like us to cover, let us know. If you have any personal stories involving true crime or the supernatural, we would love to have you on the show and share them with our listeners. We are doing movie reviews of the horror, thriller, slasher, and true crime genre. So if you have any movies or documentaries and want to hear our uncensored, unsolicited opinions on them, you can email those submissions to itsastrangeworldafterall@gmail.com or DM us at any other social media platforms D mentioned. We have 2 out right now, Trick or Treat and Halloween. Listen to those if you haven't. Please put yourself a glass of wine, some shots, whatever feels good, and give it a listen. Even if you just want to say, hey there, we will be here.
Thank you for tuning into another episode of
It's a Strange World After All. And thank you, as always, for keeping it strange with us.
Thank you.
Bye.